Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing good. I know, it's been a minute, but yes, I've been building some emails in the background and they're literally back to back. So yeah, but just looked at my inbox and I saw this email from Amazon. Yes. If I push the Z key, I can zoom in. I'm learning Spanish. I don't know about this book, haven't read it, or Joyce Man. Okay. I haven't read that one or listened to it. I think, what is it, audiobook? Yeah. But I think in this email they just used some data like from the database or some things that I clicked on or whatever. But yeah, and then they basically populated the email. But what I really wanted to talk about was just because I've never really talked about Amazon emails. Let me have a look if I can grab there. If I can grab the crop tool, actually scale it in a bit, just push out so that I can draw maybe somewhere around there. And what can I do? Can I put this under? All right, let's see if I do that. Maybe not. So if I do that, maybe if I choose a color that is gonna be a bit more different. All right, something like that. All right, so basically I'm going to be drawing on here. So I mean, email development is quite easy. It's quite nice. Once you know what's going on, you're building the email with tables, not divs. I mean, you can use divs if you want, but mostly it's table layouts. So things like all these graphics, you nest them within like tables and stuff. So let's look at it from the top just to break down the email a little bit. So what do they have? So if I come in here, change the color to something like white so I can write on there like that. Oop, didn't want to do that. Kind of wanted to do that. Maybe zoom out a little bit. I seem to be way in. All right, so if I come into here, you can see, I don't know whether this is just because maybe not use that white color, white, but use something which is gray. Okay. Oh, I see what that's happening. Anyway, that's cool. Go back to white. So basically, let's say this little this little line here. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's part of the graphic or that's part of the design, but not to worry about that. That is probably just like a 1 pixel line. Okay, the next important thing, which I can, let me put another layer above here, go on, yep, like that. So I can write on here like that. Okay, so basically this line, if I zoom right in, so if I do M for marquee tool, then I try to select all of that, you can see that this is 8 pixels, was it? Yep, 8 pixels in height. Don't worry about the width, which is saying 7 or 8 now, but yeah, don't worry about the width, just worry about the height. So height is 8. So if you're building this, all you have to think about is that the height of this little border thing, if you don't want to put it as a graphic, is going to be let's see, back to white, come back on this layer, maybe put another one underneath above it. So this orange, the orange line is going to be 8 pixels. Okay, all right, so that's all the information that you're gonna need. 8 pixels what? So again, you zoom into it, and if you pick the eyedropper tool, actually maybe I can double click here as well. So yeah, then the eyedropper tool, then if I select this bit, the orange color is gonna come, and then all I need to do is copy all of that. All right, zoom out, So if I come back to this layer, which is right, and go back to white, I can say put the B tool. So it's going to be 8 pixels height. Okay, 8 pixels height. That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be BG color. Maybe color like this. BG color of this number that I copied. Wait, you know what? All right, I can still do it like this. So that's the number, and then I can put it somewhere here. Did it want? Yep, something like that. Maybe bump up its size as well. All right. So yep. So yeah, BG color of that, and of course you gotta put £sign if you're in Dreamweaver before it, so that it registers in the code. Okay. So we got these 2 things. Let's see if I put orange, go back to the B tool and click this layer. So we got 8 pixels height, very important, and then we got the BG color, which is that orange color as well. Okay, so that's very important. Next thing, I'm just working you the process of like how you think about these things, right? So next thing, if I go to this layer and point on that one, all right, that's the logo now. Okay, so the logo, right, it's going to be a question of, okay, let's come back on here and write logo. Okay, so the question with the logo is, what's the width and what's the height? All right, so what's the width, what's the height? So you can get the marquee tool, so you can see it's about 200, let's say 300 by 100. Okay, something like around that should be fine. 300 by 100, you're gonna have to do some mobile adjustments so that it doesn't break the layout when email is responsive. But you can come in here and say the width is going to be 300. Matter of fact, you can save the graphic at 300, but you can do it like 250, or you can do it like at 220. That's still fine. By the proportional height, probably something like 100 pixels depending. So it's all dependent. All right, so that will be the logo. Next up, we will be having this section here. If I come and write on the actual bit, choose the different colors for fun. This section, maybe not so much. So this section, all right, has to be a graphic. Wait, you can use a Google font. Yep, you can do that way, and then do a fallback to Arial on email clients that don't support it if you don't want to use a graphic. Yeah, so that's totally up to you. And then this would be a cutout. You slice out this whole graphic. All right, I don't mind my drawing. Yeah, you slice out this whole graphic. All right, hey, I'm making a mess of it. Yeah, so you slice out this whole graphic as its own thing, right? So what do you need to consider? So we call this maybe hero image, right? And then what's its width and height? All right. Okay, so maybe the width is something like 600 pixels by 500 pixels, because it's quite a tall image, so you can see. So it'll be 600, let's say 600 pixels width and 500 pixels, rough numbers, height, right? So width and height, so you need to know those numbers, okay, precisely as well. Next thing, probably, which is important but not really visible, it's like which you can miss, is for example, yeah, this gap here. Okay, so that gap is a gap between the text and the actual banner on top. So you need to calculate that gap. And I think, zoom in to write properly, I think it's probably something like between 30 pixels or 40 pixels. Okay, I just roughly think that's the number, or 50, who knows, but around that mark. Next thing to consider is you can see the font is quite big and very noticeable. So I think now with the text, let me go red, something like red. Okay, so basically now with the font, especially here in the hero bit, you have to calculate like font, all right? So with this font, what you're gonna look at is what's the font size. That's the question you start to ask. So let me go B. So you ask what's the font size, okay? What's the line height? I type in there just line height. All right, so what's the font size, what's the line height, what's the font family? Okay, is it Arial, is it what, you know? So these are the most important inline styling that you would need. And then font weight, is it bold, is it normal? Okay, you can see what they've done here. They've included like part of the text to be bold. So if I go blue maybe, so part of the text here is bold for emphasis. Okay, yikes. So yeah, so that text you might want to use span tags. Okay, so you might want to use span, can't see that, orange, a bit more bright, span tags, okay, to wrap that text around so that it's actually you can make that bold. Okay, or you can use the old style of doing B, and then you put the text here, and then you close the B tag. Still works, or you can use the strong tag text here, and then close the strong tag. Okay, yeah, you can close the strong tag. Okay, so you can do that as well. What else have they done? And then obviously again, if I click I, select this color B, so basically this gap as well. Okay, you have to be mindful of those gaps. Okay, separating the copy from the actual button. All right, one thing you can also be mindful of is you just this is not an image. You can just use some HTML ASCII. If I do B and select it, so this bit here, that little image is not really an image. You can make it an image if you want, but it's just a little bit of HTML ASCII basically. Google this ASCII, you know, HTML ASCII. Okay, you get shortcuts to like these little icons and stuff, and so basically you can just put a little plaything as an ASCII is probably something which is like and $005, you know, some weird number, and that doesn't even write what I'm saying. All right, forget that. But yeah, just Google HTML ASCII, and obviously what you have to also consider is the button. Okay, from here, okay, to here, okay. And you have to consider like what's the width and what's the height. All right, so that's just you marking it up, just thinking what you're doing ahead. And then here you've got like that line again, which you're talking about, this line. Okay, so this is a 1 pixel gray line. You can zoom it in, and then grab the eyedropper tool, click on there so that the color comes. I can just double click here, and then yeah, it's just a bunch of C's, so CCC. Okay, that's the color there, just a gray. And then you have a title here. Okay, so this title, so again, similar to font. Okay, similar to font, you have to think about what's the font size, what's the line height, what's the font family, what's the font weight. Okay, is it bold or what? Okay, and then obviously this is just like a subheading, which is kind of like smaller than this. So maybe if this was like if the heading was like 38 pixels with font size, maybe this smaller one is going to be something like 24, you know, something like that, to balance it out and just show different sizes and stuff. Also a little cool section, they've got like 4 little layout things here. So let's have a look. So they've got like 4 boxes. So ideally now here is where you're doing your maths, okay, in this section here. Okay, you're doing your little maths, because imagine the mathematics comes in this form. You have a container, right, which is 600 pixels. All right, and with the container being 600 pixels, you want to divide it by 4 because you got 4 items. And then when you, on top of dividing it by 4, you also want to remember about these gaps here. Okay, so you divide the 600 by 4, but you still want to make sure you remember what this is. To me, this looks like 20 pixels. Okay, 20 pixels. Okay, 20 pixels. All right, so if you subtract 20 times 360 from 600, now you're left with 540 here. So your boxes in here times 4, you have to divide by 4, get your number, and then that will factor in the 20 pixel spaces. Okay, something to just think about, really. And then obviously these graphics are going, if I get green, does green work? So these are just going to be cutouts. So you just cut these out. How to cut these out, for example, let me show you. So you just come in and use the slice tool, something like that. If you didn't want to just straight off the bat slice, you can use guides. Drag a guide here for accuracy, drag another one, drag another one, drag another one from the top, and just have it at the bottom. Zoom in a little bit in this corner, and then I'm looking for the V key, and then hey, I am using my Wacom tablet. Sometimes to grab these little things can be a bit tricky. Alright, so it's say accurately is there like that. Okay, you do the same to this corner as well. Bum bum bum. Yeah, see. Alright, zoom in a bit, zoom out. Do the same to that corner. Yeah, did not mean to do that again. It's the Wacom thing. Oh, okay. You know what? Putting it down. Gone to track back for a bit. What did I actually do to those guides? Now they've gone gray. H. Cause I changed the colors, didn't I? Is it that one that I changed? I'm not even sure anymore. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, nope, didn't do it. One more try. I think it was this one. Yeah, it's that one that I changed. Make it more bluish like it was before, I think. Yeah, okay, something like that. And then so basically I can just drag this easier with my tablet, with my trackpad, and then I zoom out. So yeah, to slice it, I just need to now just come in here. It'll snap because of the guides, and then I can double click it and just say landslide Okay, 1 of 4, and then you know the next one could be 2 or 4, so that they save in the kind of like the way that I want to remember how to grab them from the folder when they save. And then the last bit is probably going to be, let's have a look, this bit here. Okay, what do you do with this bit here? Are you going to use a grayish background? As you can see, it's going from kind of like a white to like a sort of like a darker gray. So are you going to use like a gradient thing going on there, or are you going to make it easy for yourself by just saving the whole thing as like one image, which is normally what I would do, what most developers would consider doing here, and then save it as one image and then put it into your email. Only problem with that is when it goes on mobile, I mean the text is quite big, so I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue, but because on mobile this would need to scale in, okay, so your text can slightly, you know, lose its readability. So something to think about, because obviously if you were to code it in another way, you can do it like this, split in the middle here, split in the middle, and then you got this B side, and then you got the A side. So basically on mobile they'll kind of be like a sort of like a stacking, you know, happening. So this section will go underneath here, so, and then everything will remain crisp. But because of the grayish background that is in here, easiest way is to just bang in like one image in here, and then yeah, just hyperlink everything, and your email should be good. So pretty much that's how I would break down this email. I think it's a nice email. I like the graphics, I like the balance from copy to like images, slightly more images, but it is a nice email. Obviously I got it, and you know, as an email developer I just thought, you know what, let me just work out how I would tackle building this email. But some of the things, sometimes that's what you need. You need to open an email and like literally look at it and be like, how am I going to code this? So it helps you, you know, on your third process of becoming like an email developer and taking the field more serious. Some emails obviously are a bit more challenging, but that's good. At least you'd have put more thought around how you was going to tackle it and build it, you know. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Any questions, leave them below, and any future tutorials that you want me to do, let me know as well. And as always, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, smash it, and yeah, it helps like YouTube get more people to like get the content, and also people that are interested can see the content. So yeah, if you can do that for us, please, and also remember to share. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.
Hey, hope you're having a good day. I got some good news. The course is now available. Click the link below to get full access. And if you're new, consider subscribing.